Hello, everyone. It is the TonicMan once again with you. Thank you for being on the call. Well, we have quite a program tonight, but I wanted to start with something that sounds a little strange maybe, but I guess you've all gone out to buy a car, and one of the probably most important aspects is what kind of a warranty are they offering? Well, they offer a warranty of X number of miles or Y number of miles, and maybe that allows you to make a better decision. Let's see, I'll buy a car that doesn't break down so often. But it breaks down, doesn't it? And you have to do maintenance no matter what the guarantee is. Well, it is the same with this old body of ours. It breaks down, folks. It doesn't matter who you are. It does not matter how much you exercise, how much you eat only the right food or supposedly only the right food. The body breaks down. It's called getting old. It just wears out, little by little, but you don't notice it for the first 10, 20, 30, maybe even 40 years. And then all of a sudden something goes wrong. And you have the garage that they're all over the place. They're called doctors. You go to them and they have some kind of a medication for you. It'll push the blood pressure down, or it'll force the sugar out of your blood, or it'll dull the pain with a joint pain, or it will counteract the acidity in your stomach. But all of you who have ever gone through any of that also know that when you stop using the medication, everything just goes back to where it was and continues to get worse and worse. So you'll be on these medications for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and that does the job to keep you alive, to keep the systems where they're supposed to be. But the forces are such that they really take a toll on your body in general. So you start feeling this is wrong and that's wrong. They have something for everything. But did you ever notice no one ever looks for the reason, the cause? They've got those medications that will give you comfort and maybe save your life, but no one's looking for the cause. They don't say, let's run a bunch of tests to see what the reason is, and let's try and address that. They give you the medication. Well, the body will react to that in many ways. One of the ways is it pushes all the systems more out of balance. And that's what brings me to the call tonight, and what is the most important thing of all. It's balance. Now, there is a really great presentation that was done by Daniel B. Mowrey, Ph.D. He wrote the book called Herbal Tonic Therapies. For those of you who are new on the call, go to the website. You'll read what he's got to say about J.C. Tonic. He was flabbergasted when he discovered, and this was in 1997, that I managed to reach him and was able to talk to him on the telephone, because I read his book, and he talked about something called tonic herbs. And tonic herbs is the main composition of the J.C. Tonic. And I said, holy cow, that sounds like the stuff we've got in J.C. Tonic. They sound like tonic herbs. And I called him and I said, I didn't say I think, I said, I have a whole body tonic. He said, no, you don't. I was taken aback a bit, but I said, well, I think I do. He said, no, you don't. I said, well, anyway, make a long story short, I said, can I share some things with you? He said, sure. And a couple of months later, he wrote me a long email, and he said, I was flabbergasted to learn that anybody in North America had any idea of this tonic herb concept so long ago, talking about my father, who developed this. He started working on this, imagine, 1922 in Europe, and he continued working throughout the 20s and 30s. And in the early 40s, he had his eureka moment when he finally put the whole molecular chain together, and he started to commercialize it in 1943, and big time in 1945 he formed a company, and so it's been used for 80 years with the greatest success. And what it does is it does know what the body needs to get the body to get back into balance. And that's what Dr. Mowrey said in his presentation. He said, it's all about balance. If you balance all the systems in your body, you'll have good health. If they're out of balance, you'll have poor health. Well, those of you who have had poor health, anyone, whatever it is, the blood sugar, the blood pressure, the cholesterol, the doctor will tell you, look, your blood work, it's not in balance. There's too much of this, too much of that, and so on. And the idea is to bring it all to balance. Well, you notice they do all those tests through the blood. Well, why? Well, that's because the blood is the staff of life. The whole deal is in the blood. Everything you ever want to measure, you're going to find through measurement of something or other in the blood. The blood chemistry is the most important thing. And my father figured this out when he was a youngster. He was studying plants, and he thought he could find something that would oxygenate his blood because he was an amateur mountain climber, and one time he lost his wind and he almost fell down, and he was thinking, I would have pulled everyone down with me, maybe I can find something in the plant kingdom. That's what got him to start looking, and he found these plants which are called tonic herbs, which again, they're all written up on the website, and a lot of you listening may already know what they are, so I won't belabor it, but they are a really super kind of herb that will push a system in the body and also pull it. Strange as it may sound, but that's what Dr. Mowrey wrote about tonic herbs, and he covered 60 of them in his book. And when I met him, I asked him, I said, you covered 60, is that all there is or what? He said, no, there are more, but he said, I was hard-pressed to find the history of all of them, but he said, it doesn't look like anybody will ever find even 200 of them. And he said that like flippantly, 200. Maybe it's 180. Maybe it's only 100. He wasn't sure. He didn't know. But what he did know is that they're few and far between. They're really a super herb, and they have each of them have the capacity to push systems in both directions. Whereas every other single herb and all the medications known to mankind only know how to push a system in one direction. So all that being said, and I'm saying it in a nutshell because of course you can see it's a long story, and I could get into the details, but I think I've mentioned enough to let you know that this is the reason why JC Tonic has this tremendous success with no matter what it is. And tonight we have a couple of guests, one who has had a double knee replacement, and we sent out photos of his knees just after the surgery with the scars and the staples and everything. And then 3 months later, well, when he went back to the doctors 3 months later, they almost flipped. They couldn't believe that he healed so quickly. And I'm going to let him tell his story. But basically, the reason that it healed so quickly is because he has a strong immune system. It's the immune system that's going to heal a cut or a wound or an infection. And a low immune system is going to prevent it from healing quickly. And Dr. Mowrey writes on our website, he said that he never, at that time at least, he had never come across a product that was such an immune system booster as the JC Tonic. Now, he was saying all these things. I have to tell you, I never paid him anything. I gave him his tonic free, but I never paid him. He didn't ask for payment. He was so happy to be part of this because he thought that he was going to be the person who would have to finally come up with a formula for a whole body tonic for America, because he, at the time, he was saying America is so sick, it's terrible. And we have statistics that we pulled in 2003 and then 2013. Every single one of the illnesses that people are suffering of, the sugar, high sugar, the blood pressure, everything is going up. Nothing is coming down. So now it's another 10 years later, and we're going to pull some more statistics, and you can take it to the bank. It's going to be up again. So what's happening? Well, nothing. People are getting more and more ill, and they're not able to get out from under all the expense, all the misery, all the missed days at work, all the cringing. That's what people live like. What a way to live. And here I am. I was born in 1937, so you mathematicians add it up and see how old I am. But I'm pushing towards the next year, and I still haven't used any systemic meds. Here I am still doing a call like tonight. This is all ad lib. I don't have any notes. I never have notes on these calls. It's in my mind. My brain is razor sharp, and I do believe it's because I've been drinking this for a long, long time. And I talk to folks who have been drinking it for 20, 30, and 40 years, and you know what? They're feeling like I do. They don't go to doctors, or very seldom. They don't get a cold. They feel great. They have energy. They're on their knees playing with their great or grandchildren or great-grandchildren. And all of that, to me, is really, it really is what we're looking for, really, to grow old slower. In other words, it is a youth solution. And we mark that on the label right from the beginning. It's a youth solution because I thought it's going to keep you younger. Well, I was right. It does keep you younger. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are now ill and not looking so great, it'll start making you look better and better. It'll start reducing the health issues. It'll start rebalancing your body. And it's all done through this wonderful thing my father figured out. It's a catalyst to the bloodstream to clean it up and oxygenate it and detoxify it. And that better blood now goes through all parts of the body and makes a better you. So, as you see, I can go on and on and on, but I don't want to because we're going to try and keep this call down to 5 or 6 hours. Oh, no, so it's okay. I won't do that. So, look, I have a guest. Mike is on the phone, and I want him to come on. Mike.
Okay, I'm on there, Anthony.
Mr. Mike, hello. Welcome to the call. And look, you heard what I was saying. So just take it away and tell the folks what you went through. Of course, all about the old days when you've been drinking this for a long time. Well, just tell your story.
Okay. Well, I started drinking this preparation back in 1989. So, yeah, I've been drinking it for a long time.
How old are you now? How old are you?
I'm 74 years old.
74, and you ride a motorbike, don't you?
I ride a motorcycle. I still fly planes. Yeah, I've been a pilot now for 53 years, and I've been riding motorcycles for 56 years.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. Once I got this preparation into my life, it changed my whole life because I'll tell you what. I'm not on any medications at my age at all, and then I did do some damage playing racquetball to both knees. So I tried different things like stem cells and hyaluronic acid injections, and nothing seemed to work because the damage was so extensive. So on March 6th of this year, I went ahead and had double knee surgery. And everybody thought I was crazy because they said, if you have double knee surgery, you're not going to have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Anyway, I proved them all wrong. Yeah, I would never understand. But anyway, I proved them all wrong. And the thing is, if I was like most people on medications and stuff like that, man, I wouldn't heal as fast. But being on JC Tonic, man, it's a world of difference. I went in for my 4-week post-op, and the doctors were just kind of amazed. And then when I went into 8 weeks, they said, "Man, you're a rock star, man. You're our poster child." I said, "Okay." And then 12, they released me unconditionally. And they were just totally amazed at how fast I recovered from this double knee surgery.
And the usual would have been what?
Oh, they told me it'd probably be 4 to 6 months before I could even get rid of a walk.
Oh, my good Lord.
And I used to walk.
You're walking fine. Everything is okay?
You know what? I walk better than my wife does now. She's totally amazing. She said, "Slow down. You're going too fast." Well, I'm not used to being able to walk like I can now. But anyway, no, it's amazing. The JC Tonic, I'll be on it the rest of my life. And Anthony says he's going to be around for, keep producing this till he's 100 years old, which I'm going to appreciate because I'll be around for that long.
Well, you certainly will. I'm 10 years older than you are, and I only have 14 years left to go, so you certainly will be there. But it's true. People like you, who have been on it for a long time, are all like you. They all recuperate faster from whatever it is. They all sleep better. They all look better. Their minds work better. Everybody who's been drinking this for any length of time is better in every department of their body, every single one. No matter what age they are, everybody starts to look and feel younger.
Absolutely. And talking about looking younger, I tell people I'm 74 years old, and he said, "Oh, come on. No, you're not really." I said, "You got born in 1949. And I says, JC Tonic will keep you young.
And
that's the day.
Yeah, it sure does keep you young, too. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Mike, that's fantastic. And how are the knees now?
Oh, I'll tell you what. It's just totally a big difference in my life. Like I said, I've been struggling with this for 30 years because I really damaged him playing racquetball. Anthony, I think I sent you a picture of how bowed they were.
That's right. You told me you grew 2 inches since the operation.
That's true. Yeah, because they straightened out my legs.
Well, there's one thing about medicine in this country. The surgeons are magicians, and they do those kind of operations really, really well. But I guess you had a really great surgeon, and that always helps. But to heal like you did, and folks, if you didn't see the photos of Mike's knees, have a look there on our last newsletter we sent out. I mean, those cuts from way above your knee to below your knee, and then they use staples. It looks like to close you up after, right?
38 staples in each leg.
Wow. And
a lot of staples.
It looks like hardly anything. Fantastic.
Yeah. But the neat part is I didn't have to take any medications afterwards because, all I needed was the JC Tonic.
On that note, I'm going to thank you very, very much for sharing that, and I want everybody to realize that is just one little part of what the JC Tonic can do for a body. Keep it strong, keep its immune system strong, make it ready for anything that comes along. Now, you might not have knee surgery like Mike, but you might have a broken arm or whatever, an accident in one of your sports or on your bike or whatever it is. Oh, Mike, you tell them, didn't you crash your motorcycle some time ago?
This was 3 years ago. I had an accident with my motorcycle. It was a stupid thing I did. Ran out of fuel, switched to reserve, had the throttle wide open, and the bike took off without me. And the funny thing is, when I got to the hospital, they always take your blood to see if it's alcohol related. And the nurse came back and said, "Yours is the purest, cleanest blood I've ever seen in my life."
Isn't that fantastic? That is exactly the message for everybody tonight. Folks, you want to clean that blood up so it'll be the cleanest, purest, and when that happens, your body's gonna work like a finely tuned racing car.
Because I'll tell you what, I tell people, get out of the sick care system because we don't have a health care system in this country. All the doctors are doing
sad indeed, but on the tonic, you won't have to worry about that any longer.
Exactly. That's why I'm not on any medications.
Mike, thank you very, very much for being on. Thanks a lot. So, folks, that's one little episode, which is a big one for Mike. But you see, in his 70s, going through something like that, and being out of it like if he was in his 40s or 30s. And that's one thing that you can expect when your body starts to get well again, when it starts to get younger and be stronger. You'll be able to get out of things like that when you're older. So, tune in to another episode, which we have another guest today. It's a totally different look at what could and what went wrong with a body. And Cecil will tell you a few things, folks, that are really going to wow you, because there's something in his story that touches every single person. Are you there, pal?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
You might as well tell them the whole story.
Well, I can iterate just a little bit on your 85 years old. Anthony came to Dallas about a year and a half ago, and I've met him 3 times through the years. This is my 4th time, and I'm always amazed when I see him. Anyway, my wife got to meet him. He came to the office, and we showed him around. My wife has an apparel business, and when we kind of got through showing him, he had to go to the bathroom. And my wife says, "That's the best-looking 85-year-old man I've ever seen in my life. He'd get around. He looked unbelievable." And it's true. I met him 4 times or 5, and every time I see him, I'm just like, man, wow. But I've been on the product since, I've been on it 21 years. And what my problem was, I've had 3 back surgeries and hip replacements, which causes arthritis real bad. And, you can't sleep. You can't, you try to work. You try to do what you can. Depression sets in because you can't sleep. And everybody that has depressions is for different reasons, whatever your reason is. So after I struggled, I went to a witch doctor, what they call her, and what she does, Beverly, she looks in your eyes to see what's wrong with you. And what she does is give you vitamins. And when she looked in my eyes at 38, now I'm 63, she said, "You have the worst body on the inside I've ever seen at the age of 38. So she recommended me 12 vitamins, which she sells, and I took them. Well, after 9-10 months, it didn't work, and then I went to acupuncture to try. You try whatever you can. After my 3rd back surgery, my doctor says, "I don't know what's out there for you, but you better find it because you're going to get worse." Because, he don't do the arthritis and scar tissue. I can't sleep. And only thing I did take was 2 hydrocodone from my pharmacist. And I went every couple months so I could get 5 or 6 hours sleep. I had to blackmail him. I had to do whatever I had to get it, because that's the only thing I could sleep. And as years go on, after about 10 years, you're running out of hope. Well, Esther Franco came into my restaurant. We had a restaurant in South Texas is what we had. And she told me of this product. And, of course, I was looking for something. But when somebody brings you something and sets it on the table and it's got flowers on it, it's a real pretty bottle that it can do everything, that's hard to please. I actually kicked her out of my restaurant in a nice way because she's a nice woman. And she was still trying to explain to me, "Look at my body. Look at me. I hadn't changed," which she hadn't. I've known her ever since I was young. She graduated with my sister in high school. So other ladies I saw, I asked them, and a lady came to me, Joyce, and at the time she was 70, and she says, "Look at me, Cecil. I got high blood pressure, cholesterol, I had diabetes. I got it all. My knees hurt. My husband had passed away. I'm depressed. I drink this stuff for 8 or 9 months. The doctor gets me off my medications, and look at me. I'm fine. I cannot believe how great I am. So that's how I got on. Esther pushed me, but I had to hear from other people. And after 2 weeks of drinking this, I'm the new guy on the block. I was 43 or 44. I felt like I was 20. Sleeping good, pain's gone, and believe me, I had pain. I still have pain, but I will never have pain like that again. I mean, I'm 63, but it's nothing. I worked in a warehouse. I'm lifting fabrics 30, 75 pounds. I'm loading trucks, doing everything at 63, where before I wasn't even going to be here. But I can't tell you. It's like he said, oxidize, purify your blood. After I drank this 6 months, I got a buddy of mine, my best friend, he got on it after I was on it 3 weeks. He has a deal under his spinal cord that there's no surgery for. So he said, I'll watch you, and if it works, I'll drink it. Well, after 2 weeks, he got on. It worked on him, too. And after we drank it 6 months, I kept telling Jim, what is really in here? Is there something illegal in here? Is there something we don't know about besides herbs? And he said, well, I don't know. I just see we just drink it. I said, well, I'm going to take this to my pharmacist. He said, yes, take it to Glenn. Well, Glenn is an expert on medicine, which this is not medicine. But he will know what's in it. I called Glenn after drinking this 6 months, and he asked me, I got your hydrocodone. I said, well, that's not why I'm calling. I'm cured. And he said, you are cured. What are you taking? And I said, well, that's the reason of the call. I want to bring you the bottle, and you tell me this is all legal. Because I told him, I don't think nothing illegal except for the hydrocodone. My name never passes his desk for medicine. So I took it to him, and he took one glance at the bottle, and he went, oh, my God, where'd you find this? And I told him who was on it, who convinced me to drink this. He said, well, how long have they been on that bottle, which was Joyce and Carmen? And I said, well, now probably a year and a half. He said, wow. Their names never crossed my desk. They were on a bunch of medication because they were sick. And he said, well, it's right here. He said, this here is unbelievable. Each herb has a purpose. He said, every one of these herbs I put into medicine. This first one is for your heart. This is for your liver. This is for kidneys, high blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, hair, skin, nails. Oxidize and purify your blood. That's what he told me all this will do. He said, this last one's for estrogen and testosterone. Now, I had to go ahead because he said, you ever had your testosterone checked? I said, no. He said, well, if you ever do, it ought to be real high. Well, I didn't check it till I was 57. I was 350 and taking 1 ounce. My doctor said, man, that's high for, got 57 years. Most of my friends, 57, 60, they're at 125 or less. And I can't tell you how many I got on with for just testosterone because they were at 30, 40, 50, 60, wherever. Now they're at 375, 400. And my doctor said, wow. I said, well, I'm fixing to go up to 2 ounces. I told him what I was doing. And he said, well, what is it? Well, I said, next time I come, I'll bring you the bottle. Anyway, I went up to 2 ounces. And next year I go for my yearly checkup here in the Dallas area, and I go to 475. And he's like, whoa. And I showed him the bottle, and he's the only doctor I ever had. He studied medicine, and he knew what all those herbs were. To this day, he will not say anything because he works for the FDA, which is the government. And, he's not going to. He knows it works because I tell him stories. Every year I go in, he hates me because I just keep beating on him. I'll beat on him until he takes it. He might not ever take it. Well, I had to go up because my prostate went up from 1 point something, and then it went to 2 something, and then 3 something, and 4.7. So I called Anthony and told my doctor, I'm going to go up to 3 ounces a day, 4 ounces, 5 ounces, and my prostate's going to go down, my testosterone's going to go up. And my doctor didn't believe it, but I called Anthony because I know of all these other people he has that, they're testosterone was at 18, 22, 12, which is really high, and they all fell. So I drank this for 3 months. It got up to 5 ounces a day, went back. My prostate was 4.7. It dropped down to 3.1. My testosterone went to 5 something. And he could not believe it. And I said, well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go to 6 ounces for 6 months and I'll come back. And he said, no, let's just do it 3 months. Well, on 6 ounces of juice in 3 months, I went back. My testosterone went to 743. But my prostate only went down to 3. But you're under the level of 4. But the testosterone was, at the time I'm 60 or 59 and my muscles are popping, because when you raise your testosterone, like my pharmacist told me, you will stay younger, longer, and your body won't break down if you keep your testosterone up. He even said this is the fountain of youth, what Anthony was talking about. Now, my pharmacist said, have you ever seen your blood? And I said, well, not since college. He said, what color was it? And I said, well, it was maroon. It was more purple black. He goes, yeah. You ever get it checked? Watch what happens. Well, after drinking 11 years, I had to get blood work to do a procedure called UV light with ozone. And it's a deal that kind of helps you with your arthritis. Well, when my blood came out, and the doctor that does this procedure, I've been telling her about the juice, and she would never, she thought I was a hoax, But once the blood was behind me, I couldn't see it. She walked in the room, she looked at my blood, and said, that stuff you drink, it really works. And I said, well, I know it works, but why do you tell me that? She said, look at your blood. And I turn around and look, it's bright red, like I said, red, just like Mike said, the purest blood they've ever seen. Because he's been drinking it since 89. Well, there's my blood, bright red. My pharmacist said, if you ever see it, take a picture of your blood and send it to me. I want to see it. Because he already knows. Well, I even sent it to Anthony. I don't know if anybody's ever seen the blood. But, oh my gosh, she said, I have baby's blood. This is all she does is analyze blood. She figures out what you got in you and she helps you purify your blood. But she can't purify it like this. She said the best thing to do to your body is stem cell. Second is UV light with ozone, chelate to hydrogen peroxide, what she does is second. And then she sees this, and she tells me word for word. She said, I don't know where to put this juice, first or second. I don't know. I've been doing this 33 years, and nobody has that blood. So, like Mike said, this stuff is unbelievable. And I don't know how many people I've got on the juice, but my last 2 guys, I grew up with one of them. He's a year younger than me. I can't give his name right now, but he will be on the show. Unfortunately for him, his son died. And as losing a child, which I don't know, is probably the roughest thing you could do. He's depressed. He can't function well. He's struggling, which who wouldn't struggle? I told him, I was depressed, but not like you. I cannot put my feet in your shoes, because I couldn't even imagine what you're going through. And he told me, he said, man, I'm on 10 or 12 pills a day. I cannot make it. He makes it, but he's struggling. And it's been almost 2 years. And he says, I've been telling him every time I talk to him, drink this stuff, drink this stuff. I push all my friends. Some people won't even answer the phone. That's fine with me. They don't want to talk. I'm going to talk anyway. And finally, I told him, Bart, I don't know. I can't get into you, but you need to drink this. I'll send you a bottle. All you got to do is drink an ounce a day. Well, unfortunately, he called me in 3 days. He said, man, dude, I've only been on this 3 days. I'm down to 2 pills. He said, wow, I feel it already. And I said, well, some people feel it quicker, some take longer. Just depends. He said, my God, this is good. I'm going to get off. I said, no, why don't you stay on 2 for a while and 1 pill and then go to half and a quarter. Weed yourself off. I'm not a doctor, but, anybody knows you weed yourself off. And then he called me within less than a week. He said, man, dude, you're on to something. I said, no, we're on to something. We're going to fix a lot of other people. We don't stop with you. You're going to help me, which he did. We're working on a church right now. And another man from the church from South Texas is Annaville Baptist. And I can tell you his name. His name's Shorty. And he's a big man. He's 72 years old. He called me out of the blue looking for a 56 Chevy sedan because I have some old cars and I know a few people. And I just asked him, how'd you help, man? He said, well, it's pretty good. Well, I said, how often you go to the bathroom? He was shocked I asked that. He said, well, I don't go every 2 days, maybe. I said, good. I said, we're going to fix you. I said, what else is wrong? Were you tired all the time? He said, well, yeah, I'm tired. I'm 72. And I said, what if I say I send you 2 bottles and we're going to fix you and here we go? He said, well, I told him some stories. I told him who's on it that he knows. And he said, well, send it. Well, he called me in about a week. He said, my God, I'm going to the bathroom every day. This is really good. My energies. He said, wow. And he got another lady on it, and she's going to be on. She's got a great story to tell if we can get her on. Anyway, after about 13 or 14 days, he called me. He said, Cecil, I didn't tell you, but my left or right hand, whichever, the skin is dry. It's he's tried everything for it. He can't get it fixed. 3 of the nails are dark. He said, my God, it's all gone. I didn't tell you this. He said, man, I said, well, it's got something in there for hair, skin, nails, everything. My pharmacist told me this. Of course, Anthony tells me too. But I'm just telling you, you just drink this stuff. And like you said, people, I tell them I'm 63, and they go, are you kidding me? I said, no, I don't look as good as Anthony, but I'm 63.
Tell them your diet. They all probably think you eat bird seed. Tell them what you eat. Well,
everything.
he had a barbecue restaurant for a couple of decades there, so he's a meat and potato guy.
Oh yeah, I eat plenty of meat, and I probably, if my cholesterol is a little high. My cholesterol got up to 258, and after I drank this 3.5 months, my doctor wanted to give me Lipitor at the time before I got on the juice. And I wouldn't take the Lipitor because he said it could damage my liver. That's what Anthony said about that. A lot of that medicine. A lot of that medicine counteracts everything. And I'm not going to hurt my liver. But I got on the juice 3.5 months later. I had my yearly checkup with my doctor. Cholesterol was 258 or 358. I think it's 258. I went down to 125. Like I said, I was sick. I was depressed. I couldn't work hardly. In 3.5 months, I'm working all day long, and I'm still working pretty much all day long. Come home, work the yard. I do everything. It's because of Carl, his dad, and him kept it going. And the only question I always have for Anthony is somebody going? And people tell me, hey, something happened to Anthony. They keep making this stuff, and I say, yeah, he got his daughter there. And they go, well, that's good. We go, we got to keep this going. But people, I will tell you, this is the fountain of youth. Even my pharmacist said, this is it. This is what you've been looking for. I could talk more, but we got to go.
Fantastic, Cecil. What a great story. You covered so much really important stuff for the folks. And you're right. It is the fountain of youth. And we mark it proudly on the bottle, the youth solution. So,
can I ask you a question?
Yeah, shoot.
I need Mike to give me a call because I got to ask him a couple of questions. It would pertain to this. I wanted to, or you could maybe on the next show, did he quit taking the juice a week before he got the surgery, and when did he start back the juice after the surgery is what I want to know.
Well, he did not stop taking it, and he only stopped when he was in for the surgery, and he started taking it right after. But I will get his phone number and give it to you, and he'll be happy to talk with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%.
Can I tell one more thing?
Absolutely.
Okay, my prostate had gone up a little more, so just not too long ago, they had to go in there and take out some specimens, to check to see if I have cancer in my prostate. So one of the things you fill out, are you on any medication? No. Are you taking any blood thinners? No. It's all no's. I do write on there, I take Tonic, which they always ask me, what is that? And I tell them, believe me. Anyway, when the doctor got in there and started taking out 13 specimens, they click it. You hear a click, and then a click, and then a click. And then on the fourth click, he goes, I thought you said you weren't on blood thinners. I said, well, I'm not. I said, my blood runs like water, doesn't it? And he wouldn't say anything. I said, that juice I drink, my blood is oxidized, purified, it's going to run like water. It's filtered. It's unbelievable. And he wouldn't say anything, but believe me, I had 20 minutes with him, and I gave him 2 barrels full. So at least he has something to think about. He started clicking faster because he didn't like what I was saying, but it was all true about the Tonic. But your blood is going to run different. When you get cut, it's going to come out like water, and it's real light color red. That means your blood is spinning. I mean, your circulation is unbelievable, is what it is. Okay, sorry to leave that out.
Well, you got, and plenty more. Folks, tune in for the next three calls. He'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Cecil, that is...
I guinea pig myself, You got to experiment. You got to experiment on yourself so you can tell everybody.
Well, I got to tell, you got to tell the folks the state you are in. Cecil told me he used to have to come home from his restaurant at 2 o'clock to lie down for 3 hours, and he figured he's going to die every time he did it,
Yeah, well, I really did. I didn't know how I was going to make it. I was only 41, 2, and 3, and my ex-wife told me, what are you going to be like 60? And I said, I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to make it.
And now you're here with testosterone. What's your testosterone now?
Well, at 4 ounces, I'm right at 500, which my doctor said that's equivalent to a 21 to 24-year-old man. Unbelievable.
Well, there is a big story about testosterone in America, and people are talking about it more and more, and young men in their 30s don't have it, and it's a big problem. And boy, if they only would drink the tonic, they'd all be feeling and looking a lot better. So, folks out there, get everybody that you can on it. The young men in the country need it badly. Apparently, something is causing low testosterone. Don't know what it is, but they all need the help, and the JC will do it. So, Cecil, really appreciate you coming on board, and thank you, folks, for listening. It was a long call, but boy, worth its weight in gold. So, Cecil, thanks very, very much.
Thank y'all.
And folks, thank you very, very much. And we'll check out now. And don't forget, when you take an ounce, you feel the bounce. So good night for now. This call will be posted in your emails in the next few days. Share it with everybody. It's a real great call for people to listen to get an overall. So there we are. One more call. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Good night now.
Jurak Classic Whole Body Tonic is a dietary supplement, not a drug. Therefore, it is useful to affect the structure and or function of your body in various ways. But it is not intended to and will not cure, mitigate, treat, or prevent any disease. Individual testimonials may not be representative of everyone's experience and do not constitute scientific evidence. Jurak Corporation does not make any drug or treatment claims for its product.